I gratefully acknowledge this series was recorded on the unceded traditional territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. Indigenous peoples have maintained stewardship and jurisdiction over these lands since time immemorial. Hello, sir. Ma'am? What's it like to live in a world that rarely sees you for who you are? In this series, we'll meet folks for who, quite frankly, going outside every day can be an act of resistance. All of them are misgendered. Not all of them identify in the same way, but most were told to drop the tomboy, wear the dress, and fit the mold. Ultimately, unfortunately, they didn't. Their personal stories of courage and resilience span 6 decades and show us that messy, but always beautiful path to living authentically. And they're quite a handsome bunch, if I might add. This series was inspired by the documentary Not Quite That, which showed me there's an incredible thirst for representation. And this is a step towards more visibility, more celebration, and more truth. Welcome to Mr. Gender.
I don't know, just the way that I look. I don't know, I'm not sorry. How are you going to look at me and think she? I would rather be called he than she any day.
Right.
But for some reason, people see this beautiful face and think she.
Welcome to Mr. Gendered, the show where we swap labels for lived experience and get curious about life beyond the binary. Today, we meet Jay Bagasbas, a talented live sound engineer, barber, and Filipinx healer living in Vancouver with their wife and cat. Jay is known to be equal parts grounded, sensitive, and spicy. Let's join the conversation. Okay, so just to start with kind of a snapshot of identity, because we're going to dig into it deeper, but just like today, how you describe yourself in terms of gender, culture, identity, age, if you would, because I think that context is super important for folks and stories.
Yeah, I am 29 years old. I am from the Ifugao, Bicolano, and Ilocano tribes of the Philippines. And I am a trans, masc, non-binary queer person.
You know, can we just start with, and this isn't like for educational purposes to define terms, but, you know, yes, and to help folks who may not know all those terms, but I'm interested in like why those terms help you or mean something to you. Like, how does that like land your identity for you? Like trans, masc, non-binary. So maybe just a little bit about that.
I think I've always known that I'm not a woman nor a man. I'm definitely something in between, or something outside of the gender binary that we've been forced to grow up on. So the non-binary there is really something that for me exists outside of that binary. And the trans masc, I'm actually like kind of playing with that now, because I realize that like, I don't know, just the way that I look. I don't know, I'm not sorry. How are you going to look at me and think she? I don't know.
Right.
So for me, trans masc is maybe like the barrier of protection if I do introduce myself in a space that will allow me to introduce myself in that way, for people to not misgender me. I would rather be called he than she any day.
Right.
But for some reason, people see this beautiful face and think she.
Right?
Incorrect.
Wrong. And then pronouns, I know you have a bit of a star on, like you use them in certain situations. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so I use they, he pronouns, but he is specifically for the queers. Because sometimes I love a little bit of a sassy he, but like for cis folks, if you can't get the they as my preferred pronoun, then you don't even get the opportunity to use the he as like a cop out or like the easier way out. You know what I mean? So I really do drill that cis folks and like cis het folks have to use they, them.
Right.
Or just call me by my name.
Let's go, if you would, take us on a little bit of a journey from, thinking back to childhood, thinking back to who you kind of remember yourself to be, and how you got to here now. And I know it's ever evolving, certainly is for me, but you know, were there surprises? Were there things that like signals or things you saw in media or relatives or anybody in your life that was like, oh, okay, that's me or nothing? Just your story of, if you could, how you got to where you are now and some of the steps along the way and family and culture and things like that. Yeah. Influence.
So I grew up in a very Catholic family. Both my parents are immigrants. They met here in Vancouver, and from a very early age, mom wanted to put me in dresses, and I love her so much. And also the dresses were just not me. I get that same ick still that I remember so clearly from being a child who was forced to be put in dresses. Yeah. To when I wear like a crop top now. Crop tops are just not for me. Although maybe a longer crop would be very cute. Anyway, that's a different story. Gender and presentation is always evolving, like you said. Yeah. I went to Catholic private school from kindergarten to grade 12. I came out in the 8th grade. I basically lost all my friends just because, like, all the Catholics are like, being gay is bad and very all bad. These things. Yes, I am. So I learned how to be okay with myself. When this boy started liking me in grade 8, and I told him, we had dated for a little while, but then I told him, actually, I'm not sure if this is right for me because I like a girl. He shows up to a fair that my family is at and then outs me to my mother. Okay. Never got to come out to my mom, unfortunately. And this was at the same time where my dad kind of left the picture for a little while, and my mother turned to religion and to God to really like help her through that. So like by no means do I blame her with how she like dealt with the news that she was told. I feel like she definitely was disappointed that I wasn't in a place where I could tell her. I was terrified of telling her. Only because I had only recently discovered it for myself that I like girls at that time. I was grade 8, 13, 12, 13, you know? And she was in this like church group, and then she put me into the youth group. We can call it Pray the Gay Away because that's what it was in my experience. I think the best part about this story with my mom is that she put me in this camp, but I got kicked out of the camp. Yes, I did.
I got kicked out of Brownies. Just, I'm proud of that.
Okay, anyway, it's so nice. Like, oh yeah, you're too gay to be saved. So you got
kicked out. So what? How come?
Oh, like, what happened? They caught me in the bathroom with my girlfriend,
who was also in the group.
No,
She met you there, kind of.
Yeah, so in. My mom was like, "You can't see this girl," and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna rebel. I'm gonna see this girl because I want to see this girl because she loves me and I love her, and it's like very elaborate romance story." Yeah. So I brought her as my guest, and then a meeting came afterward. An all you can eat sushi buffet. So I was fed and then got kicked out of the group. So you know I didn't really hurt that much.
Sushi, interesting food choice.
100%.
Just textures.
And then with my dad, Prop 8 was just lifted in California. We were watching it on the news. We were having a meal at the dinner table, and he said some like weird stuff about how gay people deserve to die, and then I lost it. You know, at the top of my lungs, and I'm like, well, then I should die because I'm gay. And then he called
when you were like,
when I was 13 years old, and he called the cops on me. The cops took me I got a psych eval at the hospital with the cops present, and then I was not able to come home for 3 weeks. I stayed with a classmate for the 3 weeks, who really took care of me, and her mom was like, you know, you can't keep doing this. Like, what are you going to do to help mend this? And at that point, I didn't really think that I needed to mend anything, because mending something would mean having to conform to something that I don't feel like is myself. So when I was allowed back, I brought my girlfriend to my house and snuggled on the couch for him to see that this was who I was, and he was just going to have to deal with it.
Where do you think you got your incredible strength from?
Like, that is so amazing.
Honestly, I think I gotta credit the ancestors for this one, because like I have been doing a lot of reflection now, up until like months before my top surgery. I didn't realize I had a trans childhood until I was actually asked to look at it because of the psych eval before top surgery. I gotta credit all of my strength, I think, to my ancestors, who really wanted me to just like be me and celebrate myself and be like very secure with who I am. Yeah.
Nice. So, okay, come out at 13. Did you come out as a lesbian?
I did come out as a lesbian.
Okay.
And all while wearing the baggy clothes, because I hated the way that my breasts felt underneath my shirt. I hated the way that they poked out. I felt like they were just like this alien thing on my chest that I didn't want and didn't need. And then only after a decade of having those thoughts did I realize, oh, maybe I could just get top surgery and be okay. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that, like 10 years. So that takes you to what, 23-ish or something. And that's when you started to consider this sort of non-binary or considering top surgery. Maybe tell us about that.
Being non-binary came to me actually in a full moon ceremony. You know, full moon is a time to release things that no longer serve you. And as I was meditating, the word gender just kept echoing in my mind. And I'm like, do I let go of gender? Am I non-binary? And that thought immediately just like made my body react in a way that told me that, yes, actually you are non-binary. You have to let go of gender. You should start using they them pronouns. Which was also my like second chance of coming out to my mom, because I never got to at 13. So I did come out to her again on my terms, and we are now in a place where she's really, really trying to get my name down, get my pronouns down. I see her trying, even with my wife who uses they them pronouns as well. Like, she's really trying, and it's really nice to see. Especially from like maybe up until a certain point, viewing my mother's actions from that scared 13-year-old perspective, you know? It's like very healing to see. And like I know I'm lucky, because not a lot of parents with like trans folks, non-binary folks, are at that point where they can try. Yeah.
So did you change your name? Was that around the same time there, that when you came out as non-binary, is that when you thought about a name change? Or
I changed my name right after high school. So right after high school, I went to audio school, and I was really thinking about, okay, how am I going to get taken seriously with such a feminine name? I don't think people will. So I started going by Jay as soon as I graduated high school.
It made me just tell me, I know that when we first talked, I guess it's almost like a year ago, you told me about that. You had just had a trip to the Philippines and how that was so meaningful to you, and kind of getting more in touch with your roots and how it informs who you are today. And
the trip was so necessary for me in terms of how I want to show up in places that are ridiculously patriarchal, breaking those systems with how I treat women and other non-binary and trans folks, and also how I like move in a world that some could say is designed to burn out queer and trans folks. You know what I mean? And how much more that stokes my fire to be myself.
So do it in your way.
Do it in my way. Yeah. Even just for my grandmother to tell me that we do have roots in the Ifugao tribe, it makes so much sense to me, because the Ifugaos were one of the mountain nations that the Spaniards had the most difficult time colonizing. In fact, they were one of the last nations to get colonized by the Spaniards because of the way that they knew the mountains. So I just think that also kind of ties into why I'm so grounded and rooted in myself.
I was going to say, that makes sense in terms of that strength and courage. And
I really like have that warrior spirit of the Ifugao tribe, and I love knowing that for myself now.
Yeah. So great. Maybe just go back to top surgery.
Yes.
And that decision, and kind of how you made that, how you came to it, how you felt kind of before and after. I know for me, mine was not, I had a preventative double mastectomy, which kind of became like a top surgery because I had no idea. It never occurred to me how I would feel, I felt so good and so liberated. But yeah, I'm so curious to hear about your story with that.
I had been living by myself for a year and a half at that point, maybe 2. And I had spent a lot of time with myself, a lot of time in kind of like this hermit mode of just like internal reflection of who I wanted to be, how I wanted to show up in the world. It was just like a random, those like intrusive thoughts, like some thoughts that just like come at a random time, I was like washing the dishes and then, oh, what if I just cut them off? And again, I had that same feeling of like, oh, that does feel like me. I wonder what that process looks like. So I did my research, Transcare BC really has it locked down to a science of here are all the surgeons you can choose, here are all the procedures you can have and all of those things. And like at every point, it felt like, yes, I need this. And then with the psych eval that you need to have to show that you are sound of mind and you know what you're doing with this top surgery, I realized, and I had mentioned before that, yes, I did have a trans childhood. All of those times not wanting to wear really, really tight shirts at school and wanting to wear like all of that baggy stuff or a really baggy hoodie to conceal everything that pulled me down and made me slouch and made me small, needed to go. Yeah, so I picked the one surgeon who does a third of all of the top surgeries here in BC, Dr. McKee. Shout out to Dr. McKee. And it was my mother who drove me and stayed with me for top surgery. It was really beautiful. Although it was her first time seeing my 666 tattoo. And we had quite the conversation.
The top surgery was nothing compared to the 666.
But this tattoo, oh my goodness. My mom was like, do you know what that means? And I'm like, my belief of this number is not your belief of this number, which is why I have it on my skin because it's really important to me.
It's actually 999.
Yeah. All while this Filipino nurse is like looking up from her clipboard, like watching this all go down.
Wow.
Yeah. The procedure I had, I didn't have any drains.
Oh, okay.
So I was in a binder for a month.
Huh.
So 2 weeks after the surgery, when they removed all of the dressings, oh my goodness, I will never forget that moment.
Tell me, how did you feel and what did it feel like in your body?
Hang on, I'm getting emotional.
That's okay.
It was such a beautiful, like, I'm home energy. It was something I didn't know that I needed.
Yeah.
Because for like 28 years, 27 years, I was not feeling 100% me. And physically it would again make me feel small and like really just like bring me here and be shelled. And then to see that and sit up, it's like, it's so indescribable by words. It's so liberating. So liberating. Oh my goodness. And then all of the thoughts of like, I'm gonna take my shirt off here. I can do this here. Oh my God, I can just be like out and about on the beach and not have to worry about things that feel foreign on my chest.
Right.
I was very excited. And also I wasn't thinking about how other people would perceive me. And how I think I'm more scared now to go to bathrooms in public settings than I was before.
Because you don't got this, right?
Nah.
Can't stick them out.
Nah. Or like even at the beach, when you go to the gender diverse bathrooms, women are going to stare. In like the pool change rooms and stuff, women are going to stare. And men are going to pray.
Yeah.
It's scary and so dysregulating that I would rather avoid it, to be honest. But there are times where I will go into the bathroom and someone will tell me, "Sir, you're in the wrong bathroom," and I'll go, I need to change my tampon, and there's no tampon boxes in the men's bathroom. So where do you suggest I go if not here? And then they generally leave me alone.
Right.
The record of people telling me that I'm going to the wrong bathroom at the same time is 4. It was in the prairies. It was in the prairies.
Yeah.
I was on tour with Charlotte Day Wilson, and we were driving back from Calgary to Edmonton, and this was at a rest stop.
Right.
Literally, like 2 elders, 1 janitorial staff, and then some man. You're going to the wrong bathroom. And I went, "No, I'm not." Just walk right in.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very interesting thing to like have kind of the experience of both, where people kind of question if you were in the right bathroom and then see your chest and then say, "Oh, okay, you're fine."
Yeah.
Versus like seeing you and not seeing a chest and then having the audacity to actually ask. Like, I don't know that I'm in the right bathroom. You know?
It's such an entitlement, hey?
Oh,
it's like such a
yeah.
heteronormative, like, I'm in charge here.
Yeah. Like, what, you've never seen a trans person before?
Mm-hmm.
And then to have the audacity and then to also just like assume. The assumptions is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to be a man. I don't want that privilege. I don't want that treatment. So whatever this is like also a no.
Yeah, it's just thinking back to this, your experience of having top surgery, it makes sense. It's kind of like that confirmation, like a visceral confirmation of gender dysphoria that you thought you had or think you have, but it's like that moment. I mean, I know that was for me. It was like the minute I woke up, I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh,
Yeah.
I like this.
You save money that way.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
need to buy bras anymore.
And like, if you don't mind me asking, what decisions did you make around like nipples, or did you keep them, or?
I didn't keep them.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I wanted to basically cover myself in as much traditional Filipino tattoo as I can. So my idea was to actually use Filipino motifs as decorative nipples one day.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. So I don't have any nips. I think the really, really cool part is I kept all of the nipple sensual feeling. All of it is now distributed through the length of my scars.
It is.
Yeah, it's so cool.
So there's like the nerves.
The nerves are still there. It feels absolutely incredible, but for it to like my scars go up to like the back here.
Yeah.
On both sides. So for me to feel all of that feeling back here too is like really cool. Yeah.
That's so great.
Yeah. Cool. I feel like I'm one of the lucky ones.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess because it's for sure different with different people.
Yeah.
Okay. So more kind of everyday stuff. What about clothes and like getting clothes and buying clothes or going to stores? Is it kind of similar to the washrooms where it's like you're in the wrong section, or how does that go for you? Or
no, I don't think I've had anyone ever tell me that I'm shopping in the wrong section. I feel like I fit the clothes that I want to wear way better. After top surgery, putting on the clothes that I did have, I felt like I had a whole new closet. I was wearing things with like more light and more appreciation than when I wore them with my chest. Yeah, I think the only problem now is finding shirts that fit these like big burly muscles and also kind of like belly that I've got going on. It's a good problem to have, actually.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And I find that I am also open to more of like, even the clothes that my wife wears. Sometimes they wear the like coolest traditional stuff that like calls to me to try it on. So I feel like I'm actually more adventurous with the clothes that I wear now than I was before. And yeah. like, especially because all of this is free and nothing is like hugging up here, it feels like I can fun stuff.
Right. So what about like work? You know, sometimes people have to check themselves, or what am I going to wear to work, depending on where I'm going, or like, is that even a thing for you, or do you just get to be you all the time, every day?
Yeah, good question. So I am a freelance audio engineer through and through. So I work for like 5 different production companies
Got
to
it.
make a full-time schedule.
Got it.
Sometimes they ask me to wear dress blacks, which is like dress pants and a dress shirt.
I thought you were going to say dress. I was
I'm
like,
oh
what?
hell no. If they
Okay.
ask me to wear a dress, I'm out.
Okay.
Disrespectfully,
It's
I'm
cool.
out.
So just like all black.
just all black. All black, sometimes a dress shirt. For the outdoor gigs, you know, just like shorts and a t-shirt. There's not really like a dress code that I need to adhere by, which is really nice. So like I could wear a baggy black shirt if I wanted to, and
Right.
people would think that was mad professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
There
really
you go.
nice.
What are the least, I know you said you'd rather be called he than she, but like of the other terms, like do you ever get ladies, or like are there other things you get? And like what's the one you
Yes.
just kind of just like nails on a chalkboard?
Oh my god, doll. What do you mean doll? What am I, a toy? A novelty? Absolutely not. You take that back right now. I don't understand how you look at me and think doll.
I know.
You know? I just like people are so like rigid in what they see as gender that they hear a voice like mine and think woman.
Desperately trying to fit you in a box,
Yeah.
or a person in a box. Yeah. Ladies. I know. I just think like, what about this is lady? What's going on about that?
Yeah.
And then what I feel like is if it's a server, say at a restaurant,
Hey,
you already
ladies.
know. So I'm with, you know, my other people who probably are ladies, more ladylike. But if that person is going to say that, then I know if I say, hey, would you mind just not saying lady? You already know they're going to freak out and be defensive because they're already that unaware. Because
Yeah.
if they'd even do that, it's just not going to go well. I've heard this, and it's happened for me, and I've heard somebody else talk about this. Was there any difference after your top surgery, how you were called or gendered? Like, was it more one way or the other? I strangely got more miss and ma'am
Yeah.
after.
Yeah.
And whether it's just like we've doubled down, and so now they're going to double down. It's like, no, you're a she.
I think I still equally get both. Sometimes I get sirred, which is really, really affirming, and sometimes I get mammed and I'm very severely confused.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who will she me and then realize and continue to look at me as they continue to she me because they don't know whether they're correct or not.
Right.
But I'm at that point in my life where I just don't have the energy to correct you. So if that's how you view me, that's unfortunate for you because you don't get to know the real me, right? And on the off chances that I do have the energy, sometimes I will correct people and sometimes I'll just misgender them back.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because how are people supposed to understand if they don't receive that same treatment is my thing. So I'm not misgendering them out of pettiness. Maybe I'm just a little bit petty. But for the hope that the person on the receiving end of being misgendered will be like, maybe I am misgendering this person as well.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It never works out that way though. They get way more frustrated, and then I give them one of these.
Could you, on this kind of theme, we call it sort of the yay to yuck scale. So how people respond to you, just like how people, if you sort of were to describe, you know, the continuum of how people Whereas you come up and someone is just like immediately, like, they're, say, a seemingly straight person, and they're either yay or yuck. And so what are those experiences you have, or could you describe them in from the good ones to the not so good ones, and what are people like in those situations?
I think the yays consist of like, wow, you really pass. And I'm like, I call this a yay because it's like kind of affirming that someone views me as not a woman, but also like equally parts yuck because they're like assuming that I am a trans man. Although I would look really good with a beard or a mustache and still wouldn't be a trans man. Anyway, not off topic.
But do you ever get where people just meet you at where you're at, who you are?
Yeah.
Like you can tell that it's not even occurring to them what you are, what your pronoun. Like they're just like, hey, Jay, nice to meet you.
Yes. There are a few people, but like emphasis on the few.
Yeah, it's few and far between.
Yes, but it's nice.
But it gives you the scale though.
Yeah,
because then you know the yada yuck, right? Like it's that, because to me it's so rare that happens, that it's like, oh, okay, this is actually a evolved, grounded person who just is just seeing me and I'm seeing them, and that's it.
Yeah,
and then it kind of goes on a scale to rabid fear, I would say, maybe with people.
Yeah.
So when you, like, every day when you wake up and you're going out, do you consider the world and how they're going to respond to you? Are there days where you just go out and you're carefree, or like how much is that a part of your psyche in your day where you kind of have to consider, just from the yuck to safety.
Yeah. I think it depends on where I'm going and what I'm doing that day. If I'm going to a family event where I know there's going to be a lot of like my auntie's church friends, I'm going to care less, but also watch what I say.
Right.
Because I don't know if you've noticed, but church folks love to stare and whisper without subtlety. So, I catch all of that. And I always give them a little like booty bump to know that I know that they're talking about me. But most of the time, like, I'm really leaning into, it's not my problem. I'm just going to show up how I want to. And if someone cowers away, thinks I'm too loud, thinks I'm too whatever, like, honey, you're projecting. It's time to like look inward and like work on you. I just know that you love that I am loving myself, and I wish you all the best.
For you.
Yeah, but sometimes people will just like, are you a boy or a girl? And
it's cool if it's kids though, right?
It is. It's
and
really
then they're
cool.
like, oh, okay, bye.
Yeah. Or like some kids will just like have these like really deep questions that I feel like I surprise myself, or I get surprised when kids have these like really deep questions of like, were you always this way? Do you feel better now? And I'm like, how do you know how to talk about these things? Yes, I do feel better now. I hope this informs you in any way that you need it to inform you.
Yeah. Oh my God, we just saw my granddaughter's 5, and she was looking at this screensaver on my phone, which is it's like an old picture of 4 of us. Like, my partner and 2 grown adult men, and she looked at it and she said, "You're handsome." And 5 years old, like, to your point, right? It's like they just get it,
Yeah.
Get it.
They're so good.
So cute.
I love the future generation. I was once at I was DJing Maple Ridge Pride.
Oh yeah.
And this 5-year-old kid goes, "Hey, what are your pronouns? Because I really want to tell my parents about you." I'm like, oh, I use they, them pronouns. And they go, great, okay, can you play the song? I'd really love to hear it.
Oh my God, that's so great.
Oh, man.
Does give you a little hope,
Yeah,
eh?
100%.
Okay, let's do some fun stuff. Quick and snappy, because I'm not using rapid fire.
Oh,
Right?
No.
No. Okay. So, what's the first thing you do in the morning?
Oh my God, I turn over in bed and give my wife a forehead kiss.
Oh,
Every morning, and then I reluctantly get up and feed the cat because he's yelling.
that's so sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
The kiss is sweet.
The kiss, yes.
The cat has to eat, but okay,
Yes.
love it. Go to comfort food.
Oh my God, fried chicken through and through. But it has to be fried chicken that I make.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I make this like really dope Taiwanese 5-spice fried chicken. And
Okay.
it's delicious.
Wow. Yum.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing. Okay, so I think you're cat, not dog.
Cat.
Cat.
Yes.
Yeah, one cat.
One cat. He is my son.
Okay.
He is a snuggle bug and will let you know when he's disappointed that you're leaving the house. Like this morning. He was very, very upset that I was leaving the house.
Tell him I'm very sorry.
I will.
Are you someone who would like go to a busy, loud pride parade or go to a quiet beach?
Quiet beach every single time. I'm a child of the ocean. I have to be with the ocean. Yeah. Yeah, big crowds never do it for me. I'm already in them when I work. I would
Yeah.
prefer to not be in them when I'm not working.
Right.
Yeah.
Choice. Okay. City or forest?
Forest.
What's song or type of music that gets you dancing if you like to dance?
Lately, it's been Afro beats and like deep soul house. Yeah. Yeah, I can really get down with that.
Nice. What's like the best outfit, like clothing outfit that just makes you, I mean, maybe it's this right now, but just makes you feel amazing, strong in you?
Anything I wear boxing. Usually it's like a muscle tank with like the really, really low holes and like some shorts, and I feel strong. I feel myself.
Okay, so you box.
I do. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I am 5 concussions deep though, so I don't fight anymore. But
You just do it as like exercise.
as exercise, yeah. There is actually a trans boxing program here
Sure.
in Chinatown that's run by one of my good friends, Fee. And it's I mean, he's the best coach I've ever had. I've never had a coach so embodied to like look at my form and be like, actually, why don't you do this with your body, and then you'll actually have better technique. And I've never had a coach like that before, and it's 100% necessary after being so dissociated from my body because I
Yeah.
had something on my body that felt foreign to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's so interesting.
yeah.
Cool.
Transboxing Vancouver, if anyone is interested.
Okay. All right. How about like a queer icon could be dead or alive that you would love to have coffee or a drink with?
I have 2 answers. One of them is mainstream celebrity Janelle Monáe. I think. I mean,
Can I go with you?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, for sure you can. They're also like the only person who makes music about non-monogamy that is so dope. So I would love to have coffee with them. Also, from like the Philippine celebrity kind of standpoint, there's this trans boxer. His name is Herji Bakyadan. He is of, I think, Kalinga tribe, which is also a mountain tribe. He competed in the Olympics in the women's division as a trans man, and I think that's so incredibly powerful to see. He's also so sexy. Oh my God, I'd love to go for coffee with him.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. Okay, so just a few kind of reflective questions maybe now.
Yes.
What does representation mean to you? And, like what difference does it make? And, why did you say yes to do this podcast kind of thing? Like what does representation mean to you?
I am a firm believer of be the person you needed when you were younger. I did not see any representation of me and how I felt and how I wanted to be perceived and show up in the world at all. So to be given this opportunity to speak about my story, my experiences, I know that at any point, anything that I can say will cause ripples in someone else's life that give them results I'll never see or experience for myself. I believe the Japanese word for it is watashiato. Representation is so important to me. Yeah. So as soon as you called, I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
This is necessary because there's not a lot of content about mask folks or non-women or non-binary folks out there. And like there needs to be.
Yeah.
Because how else are youth going to realize I'm not that, not quite that. I'm something else, you know?
Yeah, for sure. It's so important, Like just to see, you can see it, you can be it. That cliche, but so true.
100%.
So what would you say to that 13-year-old or your younger self or somebody like you that's out there right now?
If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. Trust your gut with how you want to show yourself in the world, whether that's clothes or tattoos or the way that you wear your hair, and find people to support that and celebrate you when you get to those milestones of you feeling good and you feeling like you're at home in yourself. Shit, I'm gonna make myself cry. Oh my God, I swear, I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry. So it's a lot and it's moving and it's so important. I think it's that emotion is the depth of how, you feel, how important this is. And you know what it means to hear a story or see somebody to make a difference, right, in someone's life.
Yeah, everyone deserves a chance to be themselves. Even the people that ask me if I'm in the wrong bathroom.
Right. Just go be yourself. Just get out of here. Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, Sarah.
It means so much, and I appreciate your courage, your vulnerability. It means a lot.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to Mr. Gendered, the show where we swap labels for lived experience and get curious about life beyond the binary. On Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, Mr. Gendered Pod, web, mrgender.com, email hello@mrgender.com. That's MISTER. The doc, Not Quite That, is at notquitethat.ca, free to watch at TELUS Originals, Optic TV, and Knowledge Network.